Hello. Hello.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello. Can
Hello,
hear you
hello.
now.
Yeah, it's not really working on mine, so just bear with me a minute. Mute that one.
If you can hear me, people, we've got a few tech issues. Bear with us.
Right below. Hang on. Right, is it actually working? Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly now, mate.
I can see you and hear you. Mine just needed to catch up for some reason. But it looks like it's live everywhere else.
It does, yeah. I'm looking on
Excellent.
YouTube and Twitch.
There seems to be a delay on my end. I blame the puppy for chewing through my Ethernet cable. Anyway, hello, welcome. We're back to do one. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while, yeah, since the last episode. And God, that last episode, I don't know if you remember, that was hard work when it getting through some of those sets. So it's going to make a really nice change to do the ones we're going to do now, which we both
Yeah,
love.
was it? It was the big. Which one was it? The
Kingdoms 1, I think.
The Kingdoms. Yeah, the Kingdoms one.
It was a long slog, but we got through it in the end.
We did.
So if you want to watch that, guys, you want to go back and watch us claw our way through Kingdoms 1, you can check it out on the YouTube channel, which is live at the moment.
So we're excited about this one because this is one that neither of us have got any of the sets, I don't think.
No, that's right. No, yeah. No.
And we also wish we had got some of the stuff because it's really good.
I am going to make it happen because I've got my eye on stuff. So there is a few that I am definitely going to swoop for.
So we're into 2007 and we're into fantasy. And this is one of the better themes. Let's bring it all in. And hopefully I can get to control it without me blowing up. So he says. Right, it should be working now.
Cool.
Yep.
There we go. So, yes, Fantasy Era 2007.
2007, the final joust. 7009, and this was a little set, and it introduces the Crown Knights. These ones.
Yeah, I believe they're called Crown Knights. I think amongst the fraternity of Lego Castle fans, they sort of affectionately name them Crown Knights. So yeah.
And I think when I had a look at these sort of over the years and like a quick recap now, I think Lego kind of really upped everything at this point, like printing and bardings, and they put a lot of effort into this particular theme. And just looking at this one, the horse and the barding look fantastic.
Well, it's pre Lord of the Rings, I believe. Pre-Lord of the Rings, so yeah, I'm assuming that they would like to have made Lord of the Rings a bit like with the dinosaurs and Jurassic World. They made the dino sets before they brought the Jurassic World out. I'm assuming they did the same here with the Fantasy Era. So they were like proper putting all in to sort of make their own version of it, and I think they've done fantastic. Yeah, the printing's really good, especially on the barding. Look at that horse; it's beautiful.
Yeah, the black version of like the Monster Fighters horse. I think they did the one that glow in the dark for the Monster Fighters, but this is the main bad guy. The first bad guy was the Skeleton Warriors, so this is where you get all the Skeleton Warriors from. And again, this is like skeleton head, but like full body armor and helmet that's been used a lot since this time. They went for the long oval shields. Nice colors, blue and gold. I do like that.
Yeah,
doesn't really. Don't really hack back to any other theme, does it? Like some of the other ones did. Always sort of got a bit of a mixture. This one seems to be stand on its own.
Yeah,
Colours.
it seems to proper. Yeah, because of what it stands for, being a fantasy era. 4 different factions. We'll get to the other 2 in due course. But like you say, it's kind of a standalone. And I mean, I wasn't around. It was in my dark age. I don't know what the hype around it is or what it was back then. You know, if it was a massive selling sets, I'm assuming it probably would have been, because like I say, you had that whole fantasy era thing with Lord of the Rings, and people like that kind of stuff. So I'm assuming that people went out and bought these sets.
Yeah, so the like I said, Skeleton Warrior number 4 apparently just looks pretty awesome. Printed breastplate,
lovely breastplate. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And then you've got the Knight again, which is a nice printed breastplate, which they don't seem to do enough of. Face printing's quite nice on this one as well, with the eyebrow and the expression.
Going back to that other figure, what I'd like to have seen personally, and it's just a little recommendation, is maybe seeing some of the figs with like half a skeleton arm.
Yeah.
So you've got a normal arm and a skeleton arm, or a skeleton leg and a normal leg. So it's almost like deteriorated, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
rotting flesh.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I think that would have been really cool to see.
Yeah, I can see why they didn't do it, because it's different molds in it for the legs and arms. So you might have had to have just given it skeleton legs and swapped them out yourself. But
well, nowadays when they're putting, like with the city sets, you're getting dual molded legs, and you're getting like bladed legs for people with
and stuff,
disabilities and that. So nowadays it probably be a more feasible if they could put that money into those sets. But back then, probably a whole different thing. As you say, they've upped their game with the printing, so that's enough to me and you, I suppose. But it would have been nice to have seen those kind of things, like having one skeleton arm or one skeleton leg, that kind of thing. I mean, you did have Redbeard, didn't you, from the Pirates theme, that had a wooden leg.
Did indeed.
But, what do you think of it? That set.
I like it. I'm looking at the fact that originally it was $5.99, which would be perfect.
That's just crazy price for that little set. That's brilliant. Yeah,
perfect for like army building and stuff, wouldn't it?
It's
not that we like
brilliant.
Praise army building, but I just think if you want your like 10 or 11 horses, this is an easy way of getting it, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. The Bardines, as you say, you know, for that price, if you wanted to sort of get a set of 7 or 8 knights, you know what I mean? You know, over a period of time with pocket money, you could certainly be able to do that. And also, it's the start of if you wanted to build like a bigger joust arena, you know, you could start off with this and just expand upon it really and mock it. And you can have the different factions from the weird. I mean, it's not just knight against knight; it's knight against skeleton king or skeleton knight. So it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, I just like the design. I like the idea that they've just got this nice little joust piece, you know, to rail in with. That's nice and easy to do. Got some nice gold accents, some palisade bricks, some arches, just jumper plates, and then you've got the matching little section to change armor. It's just really nice, clever little.
Very simplistic. For the money. Yeah, simplistic what works. What is that gold, Craig? Is that the pearlized gold?
That'll be the old gold, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the pearlescent one. Not the drum lacquered.
Got the long shields in this set as well.
Yeah, he's got a nice cool blade there as well, hasn't he? I bet they're
different, isn't it? Yeah. Rather than give him a normal sword, give him something different.
No plumes as well, which I think is quite a nice touch. So you don't have to have plumes all the time.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good little set. Then I look at it, what it is used £40 and new £55 and go,
yes, it's quite.
You can see these are good sets.
Yeah, if you wanted to go back and buy that for that price, it is a little bit steep. Hopefully, you could hold out and get it cheaper. But again, different sets and different themages, they have different array of amounts. So, you know, say you got 12 sets. You know, 6 of those sets might be really good bestsellers, but some might not be as bestsellers, so it'd be more hard to acquire.
Just when we go like later on down the line, which we will, and you look at what they did for the last line of Castle theme, where they had little sets. I want to remember this one because I don't think they did enough of this kind of stuff. Like, if they're going to bring it back, or they should bring it back, this is the kind of thing they should be doing.
100%. I think a lot of Castle fans now, if you was to put out, what Castle themages would you like to see back? Okay, a lot of people like to see the old school sets come back, like the old Black Falcons and Lion Knights, which has been done. So the next batch is Dragon Masters, obviously with the Magisto that's coming out, and Wolfpack. But I think a lot of people would also put their hands up for a new fantasy era theme to come back.
But even if they did a Lion Knights and a Black Falcon set, they probably weren't, but if they did, why not do this style and not the ones that are in the later style? As in, they did an ambush attack, and a car, a prison van chase, and a gatehouse. So I don't think they did enough of this stuff. Do you know what it reminds me of? Just diverting slightly off. It reminds me of when they wanted more city buildings and city, and they were doing too many vehicles. Yeah. This seems to have been giving them, like, we wanted more baddie stuff and more stuff we could use, and this would have been like a very easy to play with playset. Like, you would have played with this for quite a considerable time, just this tiny little set. I know we're staying on this one a lot, but I do want to take my time on these because obviously I don't have any of them. But I would have sat down and played with just this set without having anything else for hours and hours and hours.
It's all that's needed, isn't it? It's one of those sets where it's a standalone to the fact that you, as a kid, you would play with that for a long time, especially us as kids. I mean, kids nowadays slightly differently, but us as kids back in the 80s, if this was to come out back in the 80s when we were kids, then yeah, we would play with this for hours.
Yeah, usually the Joust sets are big, sort of bigger sets, haven't they? The Joust ones more.
Yeah, usually a bit more substantial, a bit meatier. I mean, we will get to one later down the line, probably the best one they brought out so far, in my opinion. Before we go to the next set, just a quick hello to people in the chat. I see there's a few people that have turned up to watch us, which is really kind of you. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, people.
Yeah, I can't see anybody at the moment, so I'll leave that one to you.
Yeah, we got Matt Alder. He's out there.
All right, hi, Matt.
How you doing, Matt? We got forgive me, I'm really bad with names. I'm going to call you Zach because it's easier to call you Zach. Zach, saying hello, guys. Nice to see you. We're just talking about Fantasy Era at the moment, so we're just carrying on episode 4. We're just we've looked at our first set, the Joust, and we're just starting to roll on to the second set now.
So, Skeleton Ship Attack. Hopefully that's showing all right. Again, why do they not make sets like this? What you get in this set straight off the bat? You get baddies, a ship, and like a little mini dock.
This is a cracking set, and the ship is very different. It's hard to tell from looking at this. It looks like a normal type of ship, but when you look at this ship, the back of it and everything, it looks very different. And like I say, I've been looking to get these sets that I wasn't around for, and I look very intensely on the internet to buy stuff, and this seems to be one of the rarer sets, one of the harder to find sets, especially in the UK anyway. I can't speak for like maybe in mainland Europe or US, but this is very difficult to get hold of, and it's quite expensive. But this is beautiful. I mean, look at that Sal.
Yeah.
A skeleton ship. How cool is that?
You've got a Captain Skeleton with his beard and his hat on. I quite like the colour scheme for the Crown Knights as well. I think it's a better, more realistic colour scheme. That's sort of, well, I know I'm a dark blue fan, but just the dark blue and grey, it's like not stand out as other ones, but it seems to work really well.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from on that. It's so cool looking. And like you say, this is another one of those sets you could play with for hours because you could attack the mainland, can't you, with a skeleton ship? It's just awesome.
Look what else we've got when it loads up. So yeah, we go. You can have a look at the ship a bit better.
Look how cool that ship looks. So different looking.
It's the front Viking mold, isn't it? The Viking ship mold that they've used in black, and then obviously you've got like almost Batman sort of fins coming off the back of it. But even look at that. Look at it when you've got no action on it. That is a substantial build. That
is really cool. It's a little dock area. Like it's like a gatehouse, dock gatehouse. It's really cool. I mean, they've used that gatehouse. If you're very good with looking at the other sets as they're going forwards, and as they've done in the past, you'll see that's a very standardized gatehouse. But they've added to it with a catapult and all that. But you'll see that is very similar to ones going forward, especially even in the 2013 range as well, which is quite a way off from the 2007 range. So
Yeah.
they use it as a good blueprint. Blueprint's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, they kept the dark blue, the gold accents, kept it all uniform so you can start putting stuff together. But the dock is really nice. Little gatehouse at the dock. It's just, yeah.
That ship, though.
Oh, look what else we've got.
I love that ship.
Yeah, it's a ship.
Hey, Trevor. Good to see you, mate.
Hiya, Trevor. Yeah, look at that. You get a decent amount of selection of figures to do your ship. You've got playthings.
Look at the way they've done the back of that ship as well. Not by putting another piece of that ship at the back. They've built it slightly differently.
Yeah, just kept it short, haven't they?
I can imagine just loading it up with skeletons, mate, and just being fierce. Like seeing the look on the faces of a couple of those ships coming into dock with the Crown Knights absolutely cacking it.
It's a better use of the small ugly rock pieces, the sort of the little ugly rock pieces, the lerps, whatever they call them. By doing it dual molded with the dark green, it makes it look less, cheap.
Yeah,
because I always think they look quite cheap, but by just dual molding it, giving it some texture, actually looks like a very good piece to use just in that, without doing fancy rock work. It's quite an impressive little set, this.
It can quite easily fall into that 4+ trap, can't it? With those big, larger pieces. But for this, it seems to work. Work.
Again, dark blue.
Is that the dark? I was just about to say, is that the dark blue? Everyone loves that colour. That colour is so beautiful, especially for water.
Well, it's base plate from the lighthouse, isn't it? I love dark blue. Right. I love it on the Orient. I love it on this.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Colour. Yeah, it's one of my favourite colours.
So, minifigures. We've got standard skeleton, but they've obviously changed the head. This one, look, this captain just putting a beard on it. That's the Magisto's beard in grey, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Crazy.
They did a lot with these figures in general that they don't tend to do now. The faces are really good on these prints on the figures.
I'll certainly say the Crown Knight torsos onwards. So from 2007 Crown Knights onwards, the torsos on some of those are so different. So we all like to have a different one for archers, different one for, I don't know, soldiers, whatever you want it to be, infantry, knights. And they started to do that within these sets. If you have a look very closely, you'll see they've all got different torsos.
Yeah.
They look fantastic. The print on them is fantastic.
And that's not high detail printing like they do now with loads of layers. That's just a simple couple of layers.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice buckle that looks like it's connected to his quiver. You've got chainmail. You've got a plate armor.
Yeah, it's all that's needed.
And a good face. You don't need leg printing. You don't need arm printing because it draws you into the middle, doesn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
And then the next guy's different, and he looks even like the guard guy. He looks even better with his strap over his shoulder. You could even swap them round and it would work with the quiver.
Exactly. And there's so many like that in the Crown Knights. There's at least, off the top of my head, there's got to be over 5 or 6 different torsos.
His face as well. He's got a real good face printing. That's a real good little.
He's got a sliced alone mouth, hasn't he?
Yeah.
To one side. That's really cool.
And then we've got another guy here. That looks to be the same. Yeah, it's the same torso, isn't it, as the archer, but he's got a different face.
Yeah.
But again, you've got 3 of those skeletons, 1 of the captain, 3 soldiers, just in one set that was originally, which we'll have to go back to see that, won't we? Because we're just seeing the price of what it is now. Just go back. It was 50 quid.
Yeah, that's what Matt's saying. Yeah, £50 set, great value. Okay, I get inflation.
Oh God! And even £50 back. I'm sorry, in 2007, and I remember 2007. That is not too bad a price for a set of that size. That's a reasonable. Yeah, that's like
hours of play.
In 2007, that's like me doing 5 weeks of my paper round and being able to buy that. Now, look at that. I mean, it's probably worth 200. It's probably one of those things I hate doing. Is looking at a set that's £50 originally and then thinking you're going to pay 200. But if you adjust it for inflation, £200 used, if it's in very good condition, that's not that bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those rarer sets. It's hard to find. So that is represented in that price there.
I'm not paying £647.86 for a new one. I'm telling you that now. There's limits I will go to.
Yeah,
that is not one of them.
Go have limits in life, especially with Lego.
So that's why it's not on my wanted list. If you come across that one and just in parts, that I'd still like it. Again, though, like I could do this with what they've got now relatively straightforwardly. Easy, just bring it back.
A little bit of printing. Skeletons are cheap. You know,
that'd be 100 quid, and they'd sell loads.
Exactly. Skeleton armies have been talked about left, right, and centre now. There's no way that they could not do that. I mean, the Sal is probably the one that, you know, printing up the Sal would be the one for me.
Yeah, but they can do that. We know they can do it. Yeah. They can just do it whenever they want. It's not. It doesn't add anything. For me, they could drop a soldier out of that and still do it 100 quid, and people would buy it.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, 100%. I think they miss a trick, don't they? I want Lego to see these kinds of shows. This is not just us making these shows; there's other people making these shows, and to see just how much and excited people, especially of our age group, you know, let's have it right. They are for adults, but kids can play with these nowadays. Adults will still buy these for kids, especially fantasy era.
I think what they need to look at the numbers is realistically how much they're selling stuff moving forward now, because I think the cost of living is going to have a bite on, for example, if a kid's going to see a Marvel set and think, oh, I want a Marvel set, and they're paying a little bit extra, because we know this, because whatever Lego say is not true. The Viking Village, great value set. Eldorado Fortress, great value set. All unlicensed sets. Dreams, great value sets. They go on discount as well. The Marvel sets, the licensing sets, the Star Wars sets are always really expensive. So if a kid sat there choosing between whether they get Lord of the Rings or an unlicensed castle, what's likely to throw out, you know, the amount in volume that's going to make that license, all that effort that goes into getting that license from these people? Is it not better just to do your own stuff? Surely Ninjago's proved that.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Dreams. I know Dreams is, you know, they've dropped the prices on a lot of the Dream sets, but they don't have that licensing, so they can afford to get away with doing that and still make good money off them, because those sets are fantastic. You know, there's no reason why they can't come out with their own version of things.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to have an IP for everything, and this proves it.
Same with Adventurers. We've talked about it. They keep dropping them in. Into sets, don't they? The different adventures. There's one in the Orient Express. There's obviously one in the museum, in the modular museum. Bring it back. Bring back, you know,
CMF, wouldn't there? They did a Johnny Thunder style.
Yeah,
CMF
Johnny
figure.
Thunder. It jumps around a bit here, because I think I'm not sure they actually came out, the Dwarfs Mine, until like the second half of the year. Even though it's got a number on it, I think it was mainly skeletons that came out. I might be wrong on that. I was reading some Castle Wiki history.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
But we'll look at them in order on Brickset, because it doesn't really matter, because they're all from fantasy. So this one again is one that I've looked at a few times trying to buy. It suddenly shoots up right at the end of an auction. I like it because they introduced the dwarfs, but they're not a bad faction. They're another good faction, which is unusual for Lego to bring sort of somebody on the side of the Crown Knights. And there's even like matching colours with their shields to the Crown Knights, like they're mining for them type thing.
Well, it's like, well, I suppose Lord of the Rings. You know, dwarves, do they team up with humans? Then you got the elves teaming up with humans. So you know,
they have copied it, yeah.
Evil. So there's no reason why that can't happen, I suppose. I do love the dwarfs in this faction. I think they look so cool. They're so different looking, and the shield, as you pointed out, the same coloration as the Crown Knights. That shield is epic. All the shields, to be fair, of all four factions is epic.
And obviously, if they brought this one back, for example, the dwarfs would have the mini legs, not the short legs, like Gimli has in the new Rivendell set, so that you can actually move them, because it's kind of limiting when they have the short legs, because they won't sit down, but the medium legs you can. So
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, this one on the picture here doesn't look like a lot, but there is quite a lot going on in this set. So see what the other images show us. So yeah, it's quite substantial. So obviously you've got a couple of orcs and the big ogre.
Yeah, I think they're sort of orc ogres. I think the smaller ones are trolls, aren't they?
Trolls, that's the word I'm looking for. But they do have that, like you say, they've got that complete steal off Lord of the Rings, haven't they? Before they've got the license, they've done their own.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier on. Yeah, exactly. And why not?
Yeah.
Eh? Why not?
Like the bronze on the swords and axes, that paint job that they've done on it again. We'll see it on one of the other shots, but they've painted the troll to have it all on as well. And you got a little cart system which was used in a couple of other little sets at the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of play features in this set, I believe. I think I saw this a couple of years ago on YouTube. I watched someone reviewing this, and there's a lot of play features on this set, which is really cool.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that one. Yeah, so you can see it's quite a bigger set than you think of. The basket goes down the pipe, and there's catapults and things that unload the mining crystals into the little carts. They go up and down quite a way. There's quite a lot going on. It's quite a clever little set. Then we get the big fig, who's cool. Got one of him.
Yeah. Pretty cool they are. Yeah, very different. And it's good because you almost like back up to the trolls. So you got a bit some giant or ogre thing backing up the trolls.
They just put loads of connection points on it as well, which is a really clever idea that I've not seen them do that often. Where you've got belt connection points, you've got wrist because they use it to put chains on later on.
That's it, yeah.
The one on the top to put horns. You've got the side to put other types of horns. It's just.
And they didn't just do it in one colour. They did about 2 or 3 different colours, which is really cool.
Yeah. There's a better look at the bronze work on the axes and swords.
Just 2 minifigs like that together just looks so cool, doesn't it?
So yeah, it's quite decent.
Nice...
Quite a lot of minifigures with this. So you get this dwarf, which is again silver helmet, great beard, nice printing underneath as well, which didn't have to do.
Could work for Vikings as well, those beards.
Yeah. Yeah, very Viking-esque, aren't they? Same here with the braiding.
Yeah. Copper
helmet. Bit of sandy blue.
Every time you hear a dwarf talk, you've got a Scottish accent in mind. Or a Northern accent. I don't know why that could be, but yeah.
Look at that helmet. That is awesome.
That is simply just brilliant. That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
They've done it in silver as well, so you get that one and the red beard, the red version of the beard. Cool. Even the face printing is decent.
All like that, just differentiate.
And then this guy, these are pretty smart. Before they did the collectible minifigure with the pronounced jaw, it still looks like a pronounced jaw.
Yeah, it does, even without having to put a molded piece on there or whatever. Just
with the badge.
Looks so cool. Look his little brooch. Yeah, the little brooch badge, It looks so cool, doesn't it, with the little logo on there. And that's, like you say, from a simpler time of printing, if they was to do that now, and we've seen it done on the CMF one.
And that sort of pebbly effect that they did on the helmets, which is really cool.
Yeah, I didn't know how I felt about those at first when I saw them. They certainly work for trolls. They certainly work on the trolls, but when you see them on like some of the knights and stuff later on, it just feels a little bit weird seeing them. But yeah, the mottled colour on trolls definitely works. Don't know why, it just works.
Yeah. What are you doing? Get down. There's the big guy again.
So you imagine playing. You can make up so many stories in that set alone. Attacking the mines, the dwarf mine.
Oh, I thought this one is cheaper than that one.
Yeah, because they're probably, like I said, they probably produce more of them, and they're more sought after. The skeleton ship one's probably more sought after.
There's more pieces in the skeleton ship, and there's obviously the big moulded piece of the boat hull, isn't there? So it's about right, yeah. So £41 and 9. So it was more like £41.99. That'll be a mistake on the thing with that. Nothing was ever 9p. And now it's not too bad, that one. I keep looking at them. Some of them go. I'm just not prepared to spend £100 on an old set. I'm not the same as you.
I've got I've got my limits. I've got my range of what I'll go on things, and if it means I have to sit and wait and be patient, that's one thing fishing has taught me: sit and wait and be patient. Depends on how desperately bad I want it. There is one set coming up that I really want, and I passed up 2 or 3 really good opportunities to get it, and I wish I hadn't. So now it's even more difficult to get.
Remember what you said about the box art as well? The box art's nice and simple.
Yeah, it's very toned down compared to some of the other box art, but it works. It works for this theme.
Nice green band.
Yeah.
Bit of rock work. Is it the same on the others? Yeah, same green band in it.
So it's got castle written on there with a shield, but you could get away with fantasy on there or fantasy on there, I feel.
Yeah, it's got. I quite like the way they used the sword for the T.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got you've got the same castle in the background by the look of it. Yeah, you have. Nice.
Yeah, one of the bigger play sets as we go on.
Another smaller, cool little set, $3.99. Oh my god! You get all that for $3.99.
And we said that back in the 80s, and they're still doing it in the 90s. Yeah. Well, no, 2000s, 2007.
2000, yeah, we're nearly end of 2000. The first sort of 2000, 2007.
Why are they not doing that now? Why are they not doing that now?
His little round shield, pretty shield.
Yeah, so you got 2 different size shields as well, which is really cool.
And that actually fired. Look, they've got a red rubber band, and it's just simple little mechanism by the look of it. A bit of axle on there, and probably a little axle ball on the end of it.
Little pullback.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That is well cool.
Yeah, another little great army building set as well. If you wanted to buy a couple of these and get a couple of those horses and zombie horses or skeleton horses. Yeah, nice. 2 crossbows.
Nice box art for a little set as well.
Yeah,
with a little rock thing, and they've got it all pictured, with the lightning behind him.
Look in the background as well. A little castle again.
Yeah, castle again. So let's have a look at any of the other images. Yeah, look at that. Look, for that kind of money, crikey.
Fantastic, isn't it? So easy to do these sort of sets, even for the modern day castle at the moment, which isn't really come back, but what we have got at the moment. I know we keep going on about it, but
but yeah, look at that. I think it's because they keep doing stuff that I somehow question why they're doing it when they could get there's quick and easy wins out there. That's my issue.
I agree. I can't disagree.
I know people like botanicals, but I mean, come on, they're not selling that well. They're always on offer. Do we really need Legos doing plastic flowers for adults? Really? Would we rather they were doing castles and pirates and adventurers? You know what I mean?
The odd plastic plant I don't mind. Only ones I like, but other than that, yeah, I'd rather see these on shelves. I think we all would. Yeah, cool torsos.
Cool figures. Crossbow attack. Now, if you want it, 17, 20 years, if you've seen good nicks, not a bad price. That I would say that's probably what you would want to. $19.99, probably what you'd be maybe paying for something like that nowadays if it was a little box.
Also, also as well as you said, you pointed out box. As we go later on to these sets, you're more likely to be able to pick up the box as well, because as a collector, as somebody who likes these, not just talking as myself, but people who like this sort of stuff, they're always looking for the box as well, and it adds to the value. So, you know, as we go on later, as I say, you'll be able to pick boxes up as well as these sets for not a bad price, I suppose.
But you've got like a Joust, this and that one that are essentially, if you buy all 3, they're under 20 quid.
There you go. What's that? 50 quid? 50 quid for the 3?
So this one's got a little black skeleton, which I actually have got. I picked one up from a Bricklink order the other day. So
nice.
It was cheap, and I wanted just to make it up to get over the postage and packaging. So
you got little.
This is another siege weapon in it. We've got 2 siege weapons already in this theme.
Yeah, little catapult, modern style catapult. I quite like the build of that. To be fair, it looks nice.
Yeah, kept the same accents.
Small version of it. Got 2 different shields, skeleton shields as well in this same set. Small set.
4 figs. That
4 figs.
probably something you could add to the boat if you really wanted to, possibly.
Yeah.
What was it? $6.99.
That's just ridiculous, isn't it? That's ridiculous. What are they doing? Oh God. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So you get all that, and it's less than a tenner. And obviously that clearly fires. You can just a hammer down in it, smack it. Like you said, 2 different shields, 2 of each faction.
Look at that. It's like a cute small version of as a catapult. It looks so meaty
shield on
as
it
well.
as well. Get the shield either side.
Yeah, I'm assuming you get one the other side as well.
Yeah, you do. If you look at the other pictures, there's two printed shields.
Yeah. So, and he's holding one as well. So that's 3 printed shields plus 2 skeleton shields. So that's 5 shields in that small set.
We can't even get a printed shield in a gift we purchase.
And you could probably, if you bought 3 or 4 of these sets, build up the catapult, make it bigger, and make the little skeleton bunker bigger as well. Look how crazy that looks.
And that's the one I've just got, that guy. So he's going to be good. I just put him in my mishmash of sorcerers attackers.
So cool.
Stick a helmet on him. There you go. And then we've got he's like he's got a grimace, and he's
got a proper face on him, isn't he?
Chewing a wasp, isn't he?
Yeah.
Scar across his lip, apparently. Nice.
Looks like you even got the ump.
Yeah. Which is all the time.
No, just 90%.
90%.
I'll just talk to him on another 10%.
God, you get a lot. I forget how many good ones you get. Oh my God, this one was $14.99. God, Lego, what are you doing to us?
Let's have a look. Oh, the chariot. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Look at this.
2
that is
skeleton
ridiculous.
Horses.
All the chains on it, and it's just ridiculous. And look how good the box art makes these sets. They hype the sets up even better than they are.
Even the flame look. Setting the flame alight look.
This is why, to me, box art for Lego, like with any toys, boxes are just as important. You know, they just hype up for children to look at and go, "Oh, that looks so cool," and for adults to go, "Yeah, that's banging. That's awesome as a collector's item, and I'm going to have it in the box." You know, so good.
There's some serious graphical work going on here. Look, that wheel is churning the mud. It's got little bits of mud going through it, and then the fire is just smirking off as well. He's clashing. Look, axe. Well, halberd and whatever type of axe staff thing that is.
I don't know what that is. I've seen them, but I don't know what they're called.
He's got the long shield again. I love the horse head piece as well.
I think it's only the wolf shield that didn't come in a long shield. I'm assuming it's because they're smaller people.
Yeah. Pikes, do you reckon?
Pikes, yeah, could be a pike of some description, yeah.
That's like a bionicle piece around the front by the look of it, that little teethy thing.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you could buy 2 of these and make again, there's nothing stopping you back then to buy 2 of them and making a super version.
Hey, that's not bad, 42. That you can get one for £42.
Yeah, and you might even get it cheaper if you sit on your hands. As long as you know what you want and you know what you're looking for, and keep an eye out, and you don't buy the first thing you see, you can probably pick that up a little cheaper if you keep your eye out. Just looking at it like that.
The design with the silver wheels, look at that.
So crazy, isn't it?
And it's got all the spikes on it for if anyone gets near it. It's just more thought's gone into this.
Have you noticed, something me and you've talked about for a little while now in private, I've noticed there's a lot more, since Castle's come back, there's a lot more talk of fantasy. I don't know if it's because of the fantasy shows on TV at the moment with, Game of Thrones, the Targaryen program.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it called again?
Dragon.
House of Dragon. And all the other sort of fantasy stuff that's coming out and around. It's like a hype for fantasy again. Medieval fantasy.
I think it's because when I was a kid, fantasy was very limited to cartoons because of the amount it would cost. So if you go back to things like when we watched Sinbad and stuff, it was all stop motion. It was expensive to do, and we like it because we've got a nostalgia for it. But as an effect, it wasn't brilliant.
So now,
and CGI was still, it was still in its infancy. So they were just doing cartoons of like Lord of the Rings and stuff. And I think now fantasy, especially on TV, they've got bigger budgets, like say Game of Thrones, that they can make it look more realistic, and it's more about technology in it.
It's awesome. You could do like a giant cyclops, and all these giant saber-toothed tigers, and what you could get away with. I mean, I sat and watched one of my old favourites last night, which is you talked about nostalgia. It's Red Sonja.
Yeah.
And what people have been moaning about? A lot of people, I'm sure you'll agree with me. People have been moaning about female knights. Red Sonja have female warriors, sword maidens, like high priestesses.
Before. Yeah.
You could make an army of not an army, but you could do like sword priestesses, dressed as they dress in the show and that, and make a Red Sonja and all that. There's so much you can do fantasy wise. It's fantastic.
I always thought the Amazonians were always impressive when they were in fantasy films and TV when they appeared.
I know you were in awe.
Everyone's moaning about the gender thing, but it's like, it was pretty cool.
It's something about an empowered woman, isn't there? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, some cool, again, black skeleton here, white skeleton we've seen. This guy, again, nice use of the classic helmet.
Classic, yeah. So to test the time, that helmet.
Yeah. No little extra fluffy bits that needed on this, just simple, nice breastplate. Looks like it's got that kind of movement in it as well for riding.
Yeah. Breastplate articulation, yeah. I watched a documentary on that quite recently, actually, about how they changed the armor. Yeah, that's the funny face. Yeah, this sort of I'm scared face. I remember when that came out.
£15 for this one.
Unbelievable, isn't
it? Yeah. £42.41. The skeleton's good. And then we get to this one, which was, again, this was £40. It was depressing. Why didn't I buy some of this stuff in
I wish I was back. Doing? If I was still in Lego at that time and not in my dark age, I'd be all over these stuff.
What the hell? Look at this thing. They've just sort of done similar sort of thing with the gift for purchase. Again, this seems to come around with pirates that doing skeleton fronts, but skeleton tower. I mean, look, what you get a huge dragon, like one of the hard ones to get in those colours. You get a sorcerer, you get a princess, you get a knight, you get a couple of skeletons.
Look at the drawbridge. No, the drawbridge. It's almost like the underbite of a troll, isn't it? Like that.
That's skeleton troll, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Translucent lerps as well. So just nice and simple. So we've gone from last time when we had those really clunky, huge builds to where they've just put a little bit back. There's still a big piece in it, but put a bit of finesse into how they use the pieces to help stage it.
Again, going back to the Lord of the Rings sets, when you buy the Lord of the Rings sets, you play it as Lord of the Rings, as you know the films or know the books. Yeah. When you buy these sets, your mind is open to any interpretation because there is no story behind it. You can do what you want, really. And that's what's cool about this.
Dual molded look, translucent to grey. Sorry, people, I like parts. Look at all that.
Yeah, look at the little prison with a little maid. Is it a maiden inside or another knight?
Yeah, it's like a princess in it type thing, which are hard to get them.
Is it one of the first mouldy dragons?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it will be. 116 used. It's not that bad, actually. Look at this guy. He is cool with his red eye. He's got that look of the Alpha Team guy, hasn't he?
He has.
I can't remember his name now. The same that was in the Jelly Beans, wasn't it, as a baddie? Vladik type effect. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
He's got, look, Lego. Printing on legs and belts.
Printing on belts, yeah, exactly. Yeah, printing on belts. That is super cool.
I'd love them to do that. Doctor Strange cape in different colours, like a black for somebody like the full molded one to clip on.
Oh
it looks so good in black on the back of a wizard. black. Look, skeleton on his hat, painted there. All those little. I mean, these look on this image. They don't look like they're the best prints ever, but at least there's a print on them.
Well, we'll get to the later version, but this is like a later version. Sorry, it's covered in dust.
I can't see it now, can I? Have you got the one from the 2016?
13, yeah.
13.
Yeah, the Red Dragon one, which is pretty similar to that. So it shows that sort of, it's got a little on the belt. It's got printed on the belt. It's also got printed on the legs with like a little potion pouch and all that. Pretty similar to that. So you can see that's the precursor to this one with the printing on the helmet.
And you show us again, I'll put you on the screen. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember.
See the printing on the hat with the Red Dragon?
Yeah.
A little potion on the belt.
Yep, and the little skeleton thing hanging down. Pretty cool.
Yeah, little skulls and bits of bone hanging from his waist. It's a bit gruesome, but yeah, you can see it's a precursor to the one we're looking at the moment.
That to my other screens. Obviously, then you've got your skeletons again, which are the same, and then here we've got Maiden, yeah, Crown Princess Maiden. Look at that. The only thing that I don't like about these, that I still don't like today, is the use of the slope piece. I prefer the new printed,
the sprayed out, the sprayed out,
yeah,
side one.
the new dress piece, because the connection between the torso and the brick is really bad, and they always crumble. Whereas the new one, obviously, it's a proper minifig Lego bottom, so it's got the extended. On the new Magista, it's got the new extended.
I know what you mean.
Sticks up the plugs to studs to get into the bottom of it.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I've got lots of CMFs that have got the printed dresses or just the dresses pieces, and they're forever. As soon as you pick them up, as soon as you touch them, the clutch goes and they crumble. Whereas the new ones don't. So I've always been tempted to get some of the older ones to make up for in the castle, but it just puts me off having to put them on that blocky piece. I wish they'd come up with that dress piece a lot earlier.
That's a really cool princess, actually. Maiden.
Yeah, it's really nice print. Again, you can use it in medieval builds for lots of different things. So, and then we've got another printed knight guy. Kept that nice and simple underneath as well, with just a black. But I'd given you a printed breastplate. Look, you don't have to print what's underneath it.
No, but I'm sure they could have put that in there, and it probably wouldn't have cost too much because they've got loads of printed ones already. But like you say, by putting that breastplate over the top, it just takes that away, doesn't it?
Yeah, if I'm managing the budget on this, I'm saying to myself, well, why am I putting a print? Because I know they do this a lot. Why am I putting a printed torso on that's going to cost more than a plain black torso when you've got a printed breastplate? Because they wouldn't have anything printed underneath the breastplate. It'd just be cloth. So. But yeah, they kept it simple, no plumes again. Really do like these sets. And this one, 116 for all that. As a used one's not bad, is it really? If you can get a decent dragon that ain't got cracks in it, because that's the thing to look out for in it. The wings and the clips and that can break on them molded ones. Yeah,
it's a lot darker. I mean, compared to the 2013 one, which I'm looking at now, it's a lot darker, this particular dragon, like a darker red. So they use a different coloration on it. But that is a cracking set. That is
a nice. I presume that you wind up the chain and the jaw lifts up as well. It looks like it would do, but there's nothing here showing us that. But
I think
if you go and look on YouTube for reviews, somebody will have reviewed it.
Yeah, or the chain lowers the maiden.
Yeah.
Nice. But I agree with you. Yeah.
40 quid. 40 quid Lego. What was I doing? But yeah. To be fair, brand new in box with the dragon and all the barding and the thingy, 286 ain't out the remit really of not too bad.
Well, no one else's fingers have touched it from 2007, so that's what you're paying for, isn't it? Really, here's the big one.
Here's the big boy from this year, and this is cracking because they've just kept the colour scheme simple. They've just used those big parts, like you said. These are the newer pieces that they started to develop, but they've just, like I said, they've filled it full of figures and given you something to attack as well.
Yeah, it's very distinctive, this one. It's the one I call the floating tower. So if you look at the back of the tower, it's almost like the tower on the side is floating. Or it's like, how the hell was that not fell over? And it's very, very fantasy-esque.
It's the kind of things that we sort of question, but a kid's just not really bothered, are they? They're just building.
It looks like it's drawn as a cartoon as well. It looks like it's actually drawn to be that way. But very European style castle. Eastern European style castle.
Again, some good box art on this to sort of sell it. I do love this dragon though. I do love this black dragon.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. The way they've reversed the coloration from the red one previous.
So you've got, let's have a look at any other images. We've got masses on here, but see what they've got. So yeah, I've got that one.
Yeah,
so you can see the floating tower better. It's got some support underneath it.
Yeah, yeah. It's very different. That's what makes it good. It makes it. Yeah. It's different.
I like the front though. I like the using of the big ugly rock pieces that are they two-toned again? Yeah, they are. Look,
they're two-tone.
Dual molded green, and then you've got, and it gives it presence. So you've moved away from raised base plates, but you've still managed to give it good enough presence, and it's still, but it's almost like a combination between the early one and the raised one, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not like sat on flat ground like the original.
It's a realistic drawbridge as well, as a lot of drawbridges are designed that way with the two.
I like those type of drawbridges, yeah. The 2009, 2010 castle set, which we'll get to, I love the drawbridge on that one, which is pretty much this is a precursor to that, I believe.
Same box out on it. Minifigs we've got, now we're talking, obviously black skeleton again, white skeleton, more of a similar to the guy we had before, but he's got the like pebble dash plate.
Yeah.
And then you get the Crown King. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
That's some seriously good printing on that breastplate.
That is nice.
I've had the helmet before, obviously, but his face is pretty cool.
Coloration so different, isn't it? So the reds, we see lots of reds and like light blues and that before, but it's to see the darker blue with the gold accents, it's really nice. It's very different.
The gold is what makes it stand out, isn't it? That's what they've done. They've sort of gone for a more traditional look.
100%, yeah.
We've got a Crown Knight, another torso we've seen. Good face printing on that one. The scared guy again.
Archer, yeah, he's
got it face. With the. I'd use that torso for Archer. I think it suits that perfectly with the quiver buckle.
100%.
Kelly Albright and.
Well, I've always wanted to see a side quiver for the crossbow.
Yeah. Little pouch quiver, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like the little brown bag thing they do. They throw over the shoulder, but as a they could do that, but with the little arrow heads out sort of towards the back.
Well,
so
yeah,
get underway of the ram.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, exactly. Or you could do it like how the quiver is. You know how the standard quiver has got the bit where it goes, where the head goes through it, the neck.
Yeah.
You could do it with a double piece where it sits where the belt with the legs, with the two pieces that go up. A bit like how we do. Is it the waist capes?
Utility belts for Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, utility. Yeah, exactly. Utility belts. That's a good prime example.
They did that in the Dreams. They put a green one in the Dream set. So yeah, we've looked at him. He's the face is good on that one.
Yeah, faces are pretty cool. I mean, I like standard faces, but these extra little features and that is nice to see.
Yeah, he looks good. I like him.
Yeah, the torsos and that are fantastic. They really are.
How's chat doing? I can't see it. Is it all right?
Chat. To be fair, chat is quite quiet at the moment.
So that's 2007. So let's go 2008. So we've got a chariot, which there isn't a lot of information about, which suggests it's probably rare. It's probably only released in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
Simple again.
How much is one, Craig?
There's no sort of information on it.
Okay.
Might have been a promotional one, maybe.
Possibly. It looks like the next one, Dan's the same.
Is it further down? Can't see it yet. Oh yeah, the same as in this one's another promotional one.
Like a promotional style one, maybe.
Yeah.
It looks familiar though. It looks like I've seen that on the box art somewhere. So maybe it's just a different.
Oh look, this set was not really. I'm not even reading that. This set was not released. It's appeared as digital instructions at Lego.com only.
Ah, there you go.
Interesting thing, isn't it?
That is very different. Yeah, I wasn't expecting.
So you'd have
that.
to use the bits you've already got.
Yeah, to create it, which is a good idea, I suppose, back then. I mean, I'm sure people would have made their own creations, but yeah, for Lego to put that out then.
21 pieces, 20 pieces. I presume this one was maybe the same then, because look, if you look at that, it's got the black writing across the top. That's got the black writing across the top. The numbers are the same, so I presume that's the same as that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got to the Good Wizard. He's this has got some good printing on it.
That is a majorly good little set with a little white owl.
Yeah,
you know, the little crystal ball. It's kind of the stuff you want to add into the Magisto set at the moment.
Yep. Sand blue, nice hairpiece, nice printed hat and printed legs. Let's have a look at him.
One thing I'll say about Lego is they've never made a bad wizard. All the wizards they ever make are fantastic. All the different colorations, different beards.
Yeah, this is just a really good little set. Look at that.
Lovely little set. Little white owl.
Probably fitting that floating tower as well.
Exactly. Look at little printing on his hat as well. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Cool. So get him there, go. Straight on.
Little potions and little pouches. I love the way they do that on the wizard's legs. Depicting what if they're good or bad, the kind of things they got hanging down.
And that was £1.95.
That is how much is it now? Like to buy £10?
New £18.
18 quid. £1.95 in 2007. So what would that have been in 1984?
Yeah.
59p.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, isn't it? When you think about it, it's utterly ridiculous.
But this is another one where look, we've got. I know these two are digital instructions, but this one is a little set. This one's a little set that they came out. You know, we would just say it again: £1.99 pocket money sets.
Money sets. Yeah,
you could buy a few of these if you wanted a few little. You get a load of stuff with this. The point behind this is for £1.99. Not only do you get the minifigure, you get a shield, 2 helmets, a breastplate, and a spear and a sword. I mean, come on.
I can almost imagine myself sitting in the trolley, going through Tesco. You know, you got the little bit where you used to sit in. I think I've taken them away now. And pointing up to it and saying to my mum, can I have?
Yeah.
Oh, go on then. That kind of thing for that price. And that's what it was back in the 80s. I can imagine it would have been the same in the 2000s. I've never thought that would be the thing. And how much of a gap there is between now and then.
You know, I'm going to say that, you know, we say about army building. This is armory building. Did you get it?
Bomb, bomb. But like you say, yeah, look at that. Get a couple of those, mate, and you're well away, ain't you? Because obviously we're very blessed now with bricks and pieces where we can buy these. Okay, we have to wait for Lego to bring them out for ages to finally bring them out. But
it ain't cheap. Don't get me wrong. It's not cheap either.
No, it's not cheap.
You know?
No.
Before you know it, you've spent £100 and you've got a small bag of parts.
That's cool.
This is a great. Oh, I'm so gutted. I don't
love
know
his
why.
torso.
I knew we should never have done this one. It's just going to make me want stuff more. I would have just bought. Imagine that you could buy like 3 or 4 of these with your pocket money, and you've got quite a few guards for your castle already, and a load of additional weapons. Like you say, you can either put it as an armory, so you've got that scene that you can use the pieces off that to, battle up your army, or just have them in the background. It's like
you want it bad enough though, Craig, and you just want a handful of them, mate. There's nothing stopping you from getting them.
I know. It's easy enough to get the bits to do it. It's just the actual fact as a kid there and then being able to get this stuff that we just can't get now. That's what I want, just to be able to go in there and go. Like for me, I'll tell you what I do. I did it with the Magistos, getting the Magistos last night. I go in and I go to Lego, and I always put like a CMF or something little in the set as a little treat. When I go to the Lego store and I go to the Pab Cup, I get a Pab Cup and I get a little CMF. Usually something. Yeah. Sometimes, things like, I don't get the key rings, but I completely see the same sort of appeal. This was the kind of thing that I would have just gone, oh, while I'm here, I'll pick this one up as well. And I'll probably already had 10 of it already, but why not?
Because it's addable. It's not something where you go, I've got it once, I don't need it twice. These ones are addable.
So if they think adults aren't going to buy these, they're wrong. Because if you put that set out now as a £5, even if with a line night in, I'm telling you now, people would buy them.
I'd be all over the stories. Everyone would be on Instagram and their stories going, look what has come out at £5 or whatever.
They put the little figure, don't they, on the magazines. So, and you've seen, and they're like $4.50, aren't they, the magazines? And people buying the magazines. And the thing about the magazines is the figure is actually worth $4.50 because there's all the stuff in the magazine that you could read. And I know people go buy like 50 magazines to get all the little clone guys or whatever, just to get the figures. But again, you don't even need to do that. You could just do the figures Lego.
Well, can you imagine if they brought those magazines out for Castle back in the 80s? Or the Pirates in the 90s?
We were Magazine Central then, weren't we? We were all buying like
comic books, comic books, isn't it?
Like say our paper round, I had a blooming subscription to a magazine as well, so it used to come out with money when I picked up my paycheck on a Friday. He'd go, "Oh, you got your magazine as well to take off?" Oh yeah,
me too. Country Companion.
Yeah, but now, like I said, Lego, you're missing the trick because people would buy these. But the other thing it always leads me to is do a medieval CMF, do a pirates, do a space. Just do one of those. Don't waste your time doing all this random stuff that, yes, it's good and some people like it. Just every now and then, it won't take you very long. Do the full a CMF of a medieval with peasants and different faction knights in it, you know.
Well, look at
the hype. Bring one back.
Look at the hype around the York and the Falconer. And then you got the hype around Basil that's come out.
Yeah.
Everyone's going mental. No one's got it in their hands yet, and they're hyping for Basil the Batlord.
And they'll shed loads of boxes of it.
Of course they will.
Look, another one. What are you doing to us? $2.50. You could have got a look. It's no wonder there's quite a lot of these around, actually. You even get a little rat.
There was there was a lot of small sets in the Fantasy era, which was really cool. It wasn't just bigger sets or medium sets, but a lot of pocket money sets. Again, in 2007, 2008, it's not that long ago. It's not like back in the 80s. It's not that long ago.
Sealed in box at £13.88. It's actually probably what you. I mean, I reckon if they did that at £15, people would buy it.
Yeah, it'd be a bit steep.
I don't know how much a Lion Knight is on Pick a Brick when you put it all together, but I bet you ain't far off.
So, while you're doing that, I'll have a look.
I bet you ain't far off a tenner.
Go on, while you're doing that and we're talking, I'll have a look.
But yeah, Troll Warrior, look at him. What we've seen it. So if you want an extra troll and you get cartwheels, which are always useful for any of your own builds. You get the weapon. Look, you get 2 spears. Again, a rat. Who doesn't want a rat? I know they've done a better mold of that now, but back in the day, that was the rat that you had.
Little cheese slope.
Sword and a little flick fire thingy. I mean, what more do you want?
Cracking little set. Army building as well. People got this obsession with army building nowadays, and that's another faction of people that would want these sets. There's the army building lot. I mean, we're both not army builders, so yeah.
Well, I'm an army builder, but I'm an realistic army builder.
Army builder.
I don't want 1,000 because there wouldn't be 1,000 Lion Knights on a battlefield. It's like people wake up to what medieval times were like. Like a rich house would be lucky if it had 10 mounted knights that were going into battle. You know, when you think of flipping Richard III on the battle, you know, there weren't that many people there. It wasn't a huge battle, you know what I mean? You'd be lucky if there was 250 on
infantrymen, but to be a knight took a lot to be a knight. You know, infantrymen, I can understand to a degree infantrymen because
but Viking Lambert would pop up with about 20 to 30 Vikings, and it would be a hard thing to repel with a shield wall. And you've got an entire garrison, and it's like how many's in the garrison? It's like you'd be lucky if there's 50, and they ain't going to take all of them and leave the castle undefended.
No, that's right.
So it's like, you know, get realistic. 1,000 is just showing off. It's not real. 50 will do, yeah. There you go. You've had a top tip from me today. I love this set for lots of reasons. Why do we not get sets like this? This is Lord of the Rings inspired, though. Come on, this is 100% Lord of the Rings inspired. You've got the battering ram that's like a wolf's head. Wonder what films that's from or book. And the actual big tower for them to be able to drop the drawbridge and land above the walls.
That's a mental look. That is a mental looking siege tower, isn't it? When you look at the original one, like let me grab the original one down, and we can do a comparison to that, to what a 1986 one would be. Okay. Oh, just to answer the question as well, it's around £3, give or take, for a knight with a head, helmet, shield, and a sword. Right.
Not too bad then.
So when you
there we go. So that's that one, yeah.
Craig.
Yep, got it up. Yeah.
That's the boxes we want. They're the boxes
we want.
Your alternative builds. And on the back.
But they did sell sets because kids couldn't afford to go and like buy the set straight away, so they would flip the lid and then stare at the pieces and get excited about it, which we don't do anymore because.
Well, normally you get. I mean, mine's the shields fell a little bit, but you see how the pieces normally sit perfectly in there, but the legs just moved it about. Yeah. But normally, even the wheels sit in their own recess.
Yeah.
But that's the sort of, it's very basic looking, but when you see a souped up one like that, that is so cool. Look at the banner. That's battle standard banner on top of the. They're what a lot of people are getting into now, aren't they? Battle standards and shield with flags and stuff.
So this is going to be modular, as in it's going to connect to other things that you've got. So that's good. You're not wasting your time. You've got, I think, 2 4 figures. So that's not bad. You've got a little door. You've got window pieces. You've got weapons. You've got a huge siege tower with, like I say, that's a battering ram that's going to move forward and knock that wall through for you. You've got the drop-down drawbridge, and you've got it's a decent-looking build as well. It's quite a
nice looking build, for a fantasy build. Well, they had to give the tower height, didn't they? The tower had to have height in order for it to align up against. So it was always going to be a tall tower build. Look at that.
So you've got that. We haven't even looked at prices yet. Then you've got all this stuff. Like you say, are there sand green flags as well? Sand green flags.
Well, I sat and watched at 3 a.m. the other morning, Warcraft, and I can imagine something like that in that film.
Smack straight into there. Look at that thing.
Cool, isn't it? It's so cool. It's really cool with the chain on it, and it just looks, and the wheels look so menacing.
Some real thoughts gone into this.
Imagine those wheels are like made of granite. It's all about the siege tower, really, isn't it?
Look at his shoulder piece as well. That's pretty cool.
See, look, crossbowman with a quiver on the back.
Yeah.
Just irks me a little bit, that does.
That's all they had, though, isn't it? So...
Exactly, yeah, but it's just...
That's Scarlet again. We've seen him. We've seen this guy. We haven't seen this guy, I don't think. I think
maybe with different
face-wise.
Yeah, face-wise, yeah.
And put blue arms on him. This guy, look at that.
I know, with his armour. He's got a different colour helmet as well, hasn't he? He's got a different.
We could have printed that.
What is that? What's that colour? Is that copper?
Yeah, it's like it's meant to be like a copper, innit? Copper finish.
Nice. So nice.
You get 4 figure. Oh no, you get 5 figures in that set. 5. Remember that, 5 figures.
5 figures. Hello, Cooking Cliff. Thanks for joining us, mate. I see Trev's still out there in the chat watching. Thanks for watching, lads.
26.45. So it was probably $25.99 if we're being honest, because that's how the UK priced it. And so America were getting a really good deal at $30 because in those days we were closer to half and half. So it would have been probably about 18 quid in 2007. So 20, even at 26.45, 5 minifigures, 364 pieces. That's what you got. What is wrong with Lego?
It's incredible, isn't it?
I know.
It's got to be one of the best factions, like themages, eras. This era.
Yeah.
Where you finish it, there's still more to see.
And again, if that was a $59.99 now, that I would say that's a bargain given what you've got there. I mean, in real terms, it's got big pieces, but we're talking 364, so we're talking 40 quid. But I can see them doing it at 50 quid or 49.99 because of the wheels, and then you're probably getting it on a sale because it's obviously going to be on Amazon, etc. What will change with Lego that people don't realize is the minifig. So I did a 5 minifig would easily make that, I think, a £60 set as a retail price. And is that good value? I'd pay £60 for that, brand new.
Great value.
As it is, without any modern techniques, I'd pay 60 quid for that all day long. So yeah. Another one I've been keeping my eye on. This was, oh my God, this was $13.69. This one.
You're joking.
That's 14 quid for all this.
And you get those wheels again. 4 of those wheels.
Yeah. What is it? 4 minifigs. 3 are unique to the set. Ooh. For that kind of price. I've seen this about 45 quid, and I think it's worth that. I just haven't pulled the trigger.
I think that is worth that, mate. And you get the battle standard again. So that flag, the battle standard, I'm assuming it's some sort of poly plastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is when I remember. I have seen people with this one. I think my friend's got one because I had a little
That's cool. Look at that. Get it, Craig. Get it. I don't want to influence you too much, but get it.
But get it, yeah.
Don't matter if it's a dust collector, man. That's a nice dust collector to have.
Let's have a look at the other images. Look at that!
Oh, can I get a troll?
Come on, people.
That big ogre thing. That's cool.
That
looks like something out of Mad Max, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, the spikes on it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like the way it's got something to try and, like chicken leg look, to try and
they're
tease
big
them on the little
you
driver.
can imagine they're big, dumb and stupid, so you have to sort of tease them to battle.
Use the Technic pin as a connector as well. That's an interesting way of doing it. There you've got without the driver in it. It's obviously got a flick fire type missile at the back.
That is immensely good, if that's a word.
Then you can see you've got a little cart, a nice little design. This cart, look, it's nice.
Very
couple
simple.
Of Technic pieces, used well.
Yeah, very simple. That works.
Gold and blue again. A little bit of a battle. Look at that. Off for that kind of money, people. Crikey. So look at the figures then. So he in that colour is only in this set, that sand green with pearl dark grey armour. They are so cool looking as well. I love the way
they are good. They are good. Yeah, I love them.
So this guy's in 4 sets, but again,
wow.
Printing.
It's very different, isn't it? What? It's like a pelt. Is that some type of pelt?
Yeah, it's like meant to be like some kind of animal pelt, isn't it? Over the metal, he's got some metal, chain metal underneath. If you look, you can see a little bit of fluff around his belt. Nice. These guys were unique to this set as well. So he's got the stubble, and this guy has got the spots under his eye. Interestingly enough, that's a nice idea for a design. £72. If you can get it £72 brand new, see the problem is that'll be in across the pond, so you'll have to pay tax on it.
He's going to say that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Even if it's in Europe now, you have to pay a blooming tax on it. So, yeah, that is a nice set, and it was, yes, it'll have been about $12.99 roughly,
give or take.
Right.
Yeah, that's a cracking set.
God, so depressing.
Well, another dwarf mine set.
So dwarf one again. This was £6.85.
I'll leave it out.
Which is painful. This is painful.
Another little battle standard. Actually, I think I've seen this on eBay quite a few times. So I think this is one of the more common sets that you can still pick up and box, which is a really cool little set, little army set.
Yeah,
the two different trolls.
It's simple, isn't it? You know, you've got enough to play around with. A couple of trolls, a dwarf, and he's got a great big machine that looks like they start running fast when that's coming towards you.
Well, if you bought this with a couple of the other smaller sets for £25, £30, you'd be happy as Larry playing with all them against each other and that. You don't need to have a big castle.
Well, you don't have to spend a lot of money, and you've already got loads of stuff, haven't you? That's the whole thing, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. You don't need a big castle. Castle's not just... You don't have to have a castle to like castle themage. Just buy the little small sets. It's got rubber bands
on it and everything.
Have little skirmishes. Yeah, you can imagine as they turn, holding that tension.
Turning the wheels, turning the spikes.
I just love the battle standards.
Yeah, you do.
They've got to be...
Yeah, you love
it. I think it's the Warhammer in me in that respect.
You have to rely on third party doing the battle standards now, don't we? But yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people custom doing their own stuff now, aren't there?
That's what I mean. Relying on them. Then we get the battle wheel. So we've had like the assault wagon, and then they come up with this thing, which is like a giant hamster wheel. It's hilarious, but it's a really good set. Again, £30 set. This one,
it's all the assault weapons there, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got enough to build with your big castle, though. All these little extra bits, and then I mean, look at his face. He's going to be screaming, isn't he? That thing flying towards you. Look at him running on the top of it.
That is absolutely mental, but it's so good.
That looks quite an interesting build to get the circular effect as well, using the pieces they've used there.
Yeah,
it's clipped hinges, isn't it? And then obviously it's supported in the middle by 2x2 rounds. Clever.
Look how they've done. Yeah, look how they've got the spikes sort of protecting the little catapult.
Yeah, almost like stopping cavalry, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
And there's like, we've got it for cavalry, and they're like, this is all cavalry. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. We don't use horses, we use this.
He's like, whoa, let's do it. So I'll look at the other images.
How much that?
I don't want to know. Yeah, so we got that one. You see him stood on there. 3 knights, look. 3 knights, 3 little trolls. It's like, oh my god. 6 figures.
6 figures in that set.
It's on there. Exclusive rolling battle wheel. It was a limited edition, this one.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like you said, nice little spike brought the catapult across.
Well, we've not even got to the ultimate battle pack yet. Wait till you see that.
Yeah. There they go, driving it along, and then obviously he's piking him. So I don't think there's anything special about these minifigures. No, 9 set. Oh no, this one was probably only in this set by the look of it.
Different
and
heads.
This one, look at that printed.
Yeah,
they've used the skeleton one.
He's nicked it off a skeleton, hasn't he?
Nicked it off a skeleton, he's a cheeky little monkey.
But that's what they like. They don't care. As long as they keep this all protected, they just grab whatever they can and reuse it.
Yep. So that one, are you ready? Was that was a £30 set. So it's probably about 25 more than 30, but even £30 set.
Great price.
For 6 minifigures and the size of the thing.
Can't argue with it. What we got now for that same price? So £25. What we got for £25 at the moment? That might be sort of you can compare it to. Well, you can't really compare it, but a city set, £25 city set.
Well, the closest value is Speed Champions, isn't it? At 20, but I can't think of what you got. 25. It's got loads of figures.
No, that's right. Oh, Here we go. This is where you got me now.
This is the one you want, isn't it? This is a warship one.
This is the one I want so bad.
Yeah,
I had my hand on it so many times, and for such good price, brand new in box, and I just passed it up 3 times, 2 to 3 times I passed it up, and now it's just crazy. And I think it was the CMF figure that did it. As soon as that CMF figure come out, that went straight up
with the sales. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this.
So
Absolutely adore
the
this.
key thing for me on this, not apart from the fantastic box art, is the fact that how well this set is designed. And it might, to the casual eye, they might not be thinking about it, but look what you've suddenly got. You've got little birds, big birds. You've got detail like the big troll being the drummer for the oars. You've got the little net with the dwarf caught in it, so you've got a dwarf figure as well. You've got a knight on a dragon. Like usually the dragons are always on the majority of time they're on the sort of badder side.
3 of the 4 factions.
Time, full on battle knight, and the dragon's got headgear.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what are you doing to us, Lego?
This is the best sea set. This is definitely the best water set, sea set. It's awesome. It really is. It's got, you pointed out, it's got everything.
Yep.
That, if I had that as a kid for Christmas under a tree and I opened it up and I saw that, like I did with the Eldorado Fortress, I would have been in awe for this set. I would have played with this for hours.
Sand green flags again as well. Let's have a look at the price of it. It was $48.95. It's probably not far off. $250 brand new probably is a good deal.
Brand new in box is free. I've seen there's 3 of them on eBay at the moment. I know this because I keep looking. At the moment, it's about $339 for 3 brand new ones on eBay in box in the UK.
Let's look at this. Look at this.
Unbelievable.
The size of that dragon. It's a proper dragon as well.
I love this so much.
It's not skimped on anything. The front of it, the bird is clever. There's a nice back design. All right, Cabbage. And you know you should be working. You should be watching as well. It's not like you work hard, so. Look at it. Look at it.
It's like a Greek warship at the front.
Yeah, it's even got a little crow's nest and everything.
Yep, a couple of crows.
Yeah, it's very
those sails. Look at those sails. Yeah, it's got the Greek warship look about it.
Look at this guy. Look at him. He's charging in.
Yeah, I don't know if they're holding a lance like a pencil. The guy's holding a lance. I can't get my head around that.
Yeah, well, you've got to poke him, haven't you? Poke him with a long stick. Yeah, he's like going.
He's a gunner. I don't think that helmet's going to help him somehow.
Yeah, he's like, I've only got little legs from the last time you hit me.
It's like a Coke can. Yeah, squash.
But you can even wrap him in the net and put him in the boat. Look, they even thought of everything.
They caught him and smuggled him on board.
So he's done nothing with the little standard brown boat mold apart from add a little 2 to the front. Just makes it. That's all you needed to do. Just add a little 2 to the front.
For them, for trolls, they didn't need anything more.
Nope.
They're not fancy, are they, trolls?
And then look at this beast. This is awesome.
That's nice.
The only thing puts me off this dragon is I would have loved for that to have been a clip-on helmet so you could take it off.
I agree. 100% agree with that.
Yeah. So you could have just had the dragon and gone, right, I'm arming you up. Almost like putting it on battle cap.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. Same, yeah. 100% agree.
Minifigs, so we've got...
like the horses had them, didn't they?
Yeah. So you could get this guy in 4 sets. So you can have a few of these knights, to be fair, with printed chest plates, which is unusual. And you think about it, as soon as you start buying all these sets, you are building up quite a little army here of trolls and knights. You're getting quite a lot of good stuff for your money.
Well, you think if you was fortunate to have one of each set, you got a fair amount of figs there, haven't you?
Yeah,
one
you
of
will.
Each set. Or at
and
least
there will be some of the lads that will have got them. Yeah. Oh, they're just so good.
But by far my favourite fantasy era set.
If you would have bought that in 2008, you'd have been spending about 50 quid. Now, we've got an advent calendar. I had a look at these the other day because these were when advent calendars were good before they ruined them.
I know.
Before they ruined them, like you actually look at what you got. You got a witch, you got a troll, you got a skeleton, you got a dwarf, you got a little guard, you got a knight, you got a peasant, you got all that. You got 9 minifigures.
And how much would that have been?
And all the builds were useful. $12.99.
Oh, leave it at. Oh, that needed to leave it at, didn't it? Oh, God.
$12.99.
Oh, I think it's Ego we can't be disappointed in. I think it's got to be time. I think era and time's out. I wouldn't say it's our ally, is it? It's our demise, if anything. We're never going to get stuff like this again.
No. But it's the problem is the licensed advent calendars have ruined this. The Star Wars, the Marvel ones that they do now, and Harry Potter, they do Star Wars, Marvel, Harry Potter, and I know they do Friends and City. But before, when they used to do this stuff, you was better value for money. You got 9 minifigures, and all the little bills were really useful for your castle. So there was stuff you could put in your castle.
Well, by all accounts, the Star Wars one don't look like it's doing very well. I've seen it at like discounted rate, and quite a few of them about. So this year's one is not really sort of captured the imagination. I think the last one I remember that everyone was salty after was the Mandalorian one from 3 years ago.
Yeah, the Mandalorian one, yeah.
Which I was fortunate enough to get as soon as it released. I got it for a good price. But it shot up like 15 quid extra on top of what the original price of £25 was back then. So. And
then we get battle packs.
I forgot about the blister battle packs. Yeah, I forgot about these.
So they've got away with the little boxes, but look what you got. You basically got all these knights. Usually two knights and 3 men, and shields, different shields.
Yep.
Helmets, pikes, spears, a chrome-coloured sword, which was probably pretty cool to have. Archer, and that was £8.79. Under a tenner for 5 figs.
Which you'd expect back in that era to be about that price, which is reasonable. You know, it's gone up a little bit in price on what the battle packs were, the cardboard battle packs back in the 80s and 90s. It's a little bit pricier.
Do a battle pack now and charge you 15 quid.
15 quid, yeah. 18 quid, yeah.
Sell like hotcakes. Won't be able to keep them in stock.
Oh, look, you got a skeleton
battle pack. Yeah, look at that. You can get a little spider.
God, you can imagine the army builders would be all over these, wouldn't they?
Oh, this would make a really cool skeleton army rather than just the defunct skeletons. If you've got all the extra stuff to make it sexy.
Look at that giant scythe he's got as well, that one.
Yeah. He's using that weapon we saw earlier, hasn't he? But they've modified it because it
modified it into a scythe. Yeah.
That Grim, he looks like a proper Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper, yeah, I was going to say that, yeah.
You could faction these up, like you have a little units. So you've got each one led by a Grim Reaper, and then you've got all your guys in the different. How cool is that? Again, it would have been under a tenner, and now ridiculous price. We haven't got an image for the Troll Warriors battle pack. That's a shame.
That is a shame. I'd like to have seen that, unless there is one further down, but
I don't know if there is. Let me see if I can find one. Keep talking.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'll just say hello to Trevor again. He's out there still watching us. He says, run up to Christmas, done a bit myself, but my dad isn't very well, so not gone far, hoping to get to Birmingham. I'm sorry to hear that, Trevor. I hope he's going to be okay, and I hope you have a good Christmas with him, mate. I was going to pick up the Orient Express by the look of it as well. December the 2nd, thought to pick up the Orient Express. Mate, that Orient Express is beautiful. We've not had a chance to talk about it, obviously, on any streams. But, yeah, it's fantastic. And Hans Scotty's saying he's still here watching as well, or listening. How's the picking going, Scotty? I think Cabbage Face, I'm not sure if he's still hanging about. If he's got in trouble. Is he still working, did he say? Oh, here we go. Greg's has managed to find a couple of battle packs.
It's not a great image, but that's the Troll battle pack. So you get
cool.
3 of the shields that are the oblong shape.
Yeah, they only did that one shape, didn't they? For the
5 warriors as well. So how cool is that?
Look at the sandy. Is it sands?
Sand green, yeah, the
green
flags.
flags.
You can get a little rat in it as well.
Yeah, you got a spider in the skeleton one.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that one. We ain't got any pricing on that, but it'd have been the same. It'd have been around £8 under a tenner anyway.
Yeah.
So
and it goes on. You can see there's
on.
a lot of sets in this era, which is fantastic.
I love this one. This was $13.99. How depressing! Look at this bad boy. Look
so
at
we're on the third year, 2009.
Third year, 2009. First year was 2007. Second year was 2008. Third year.
Yeah.
Third year. Look at it. Look at this. Horses, chariots. We didn't have many chariots either. That's a bit of a nod to Dragon Masters, isn't it? Which were the first one to do chariots.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. No, I don't remember the wagon wheels being that big. Blimey.
Yeah, they did. There's a few different sizes actually. So this is the bigger one. They did They used some of the bigger ones for the carts from Harry Potter, from Fantastic Beasts, I think.
Right.
I think in black. I've got a couple of them in black, I think.
Oh, they've given him a plume, this particular king.
Yeah, he's got a nice dark blue
plume.
He's got a shiny sword, shiny helmet, nice printed chest piece again, treasure.
Got a couple of trolls chancing their arm.
Couple of trolls with the cool shields. I think this is when the shields actually came out, really, in this year.
Yeah.
Nice horse, nice little helmet gear, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the headgear. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier on about. You was talking about the dragon.
Yeah.
Clip on and clip off sort of thing.
We'll look at the additional images. I've got a few on here. Oh, look at the box art. Again, a lot of work put into the box art.
Sells the sets. Not that they need selling because they're fantastic, but it really does sell the sets. Even more so. It gives you something to think about, to bounce off of, to create your own little stories. When you look at the box art, you think, oh, I can imagine the mountain ranges and this is where it took place. And
nice and cool. Look at this.
Yeah.
Some nice treasure in it as well, which we didn't get in Magicians.
They Peachy's treasure.
What a cool set.
Yeah.
Not surprised that it's the used, and it's interestingly on this, is the used and new prices aren't that different, which is not surprising at all. And that, again, that was a $13.99 set. So that's how much it would have been, $13.99 for that.
4 figs. That's ridiculous. And a horse.
Yeah. And we're into 2009, for crying out loud.
Which not that long ago. What's that? What, 15 years ago?
Yep.
In the grand scheme of things, not that long ago.
Drawbridge Defense. This one is very special, and we will explain why.
Oh yes.
This is a cracking set there. This really is a good set. The blue, the use of the lion molded piece.
Yeah. First time we got a Jester, isn't it? Apart from the Advent calendar, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. It's the first time Jester.
A Grim Reaper on his steed.
Yeah. The very obvious Gold Knight.
Let's have a look at the additionals.
Little maid hanging out the window.
Nice box art again.
Yeah, cracking box art.
The skeleton that's involved. You get 3 skeletons. That first image didn't help us.
Yeah,
black
mixing
one,
up. Yeah, they're mixing up the colours now, aren't they? Black and white.
Yeah. And then look at these guys.
That's so cool.
They could be crossing a Pelican Crossing, couldn't they, for a famous
a particular album cover. Yeah. Abbey Road.
Yeah, that looks cool. They're all happy. And then the other side, hey, we're coming for you.
So cool.
Demonstrating the flick fire capabilities. Interesting.
Oh yeah,
if we go to the minifigures, we've seen these skeletons before. Here's your Jester with dual face, got prime face. Here's a little prime printed badge.
And there are rumours that we may have a Lion Knight one.
Yeah, we might need another Jester.
Imagine that with a little Lion Knight logo on it.
But yeah, it's this guy he only appears in this set. He is completely gold. Everybody wants him. He's got gold legs, gold arms, printed breastplates, printed under the breastplate as well for some reason, and gold helmet, and he's fantastic.
Stands out, doesn't it? You look at that knight, and a lot of the knights that have come out, that one just completely stands out. I don't own it personally, obviously, because I didn't have any of these sets from the Fantasy era.
I'm not chasing the price of this one.
No. The only figures I do have is the Jester.
And the Crown Queen, who's again nice printing on here.
That's lovely printing. That torso, I like the top. Yeah. If she had the wide part, you see on the modern queens.
Yeah, the big,
like the Marie Antoinette,
the
CMF
one,
CMF
the Marie Antoinette.
I think that'd look really cool in that coloration.
Yeah. I'm seeing this guy. He's only in this set with that face, but we've seen that torso before.
The smirk face, yeah.
But it's all about this. It's all about this.
I wonder how much he goes for alone now.
So when we go to the price of it, it was $26.99. It's now $120. Yeah. I don't. Is it? Which one is he?
I think that's probably just for the fig now, isn't it? I'm sure it's probably more than that.
He goes for used £57, brand new £91.
Blimey, almost as much as the 26 quid, eh?
So this is the next one is one of my personal favourites, and I don't know why, but it's just one I like. I've tried to get a couple of times, but it's just I'm not paying the prices. The Trolls Mountain Fortress. Look at these two trolls.
That would have been my castle of choice. I know we had the big castle with the floating tower. And that was the big cut, but this one would have been mine because it's different. This would have been my castle of choice if I didn't get the warship. This is probably my second favourite big set. This is cool.
Yeah, I like the sorcerer in this one.
Yeah,
I've got a sorcerer, so I'm quite pleased that I've got the little troll sorcerer. But yeah, this has got
two big ogres.
I think that's like a moulded piece, isn't it? That skeleton face.
Yeah.
You've got big gates. You've got the two guys guarding it. You've got plenty of knights to attack it, and then you've got plenty of defenses. It originally was 75, so it was on the big sort of Christmas present price, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is it worth £75? I think so. I believe so.
Yeah, I think if you did
big mouldy pieces. Yeah.
It'd be about 120 now, wouldn't it? Sort of that price range for a big set like this.
Yeah, it's a cracking set.
The box art again, which we sometimes don't see with the way that Brickset have done this, but again, the similar sort of style. The box art added a bit of lightning effect in for the sorcerer. You got these two guys. Look how cool he looks.
I love them. I think they're so cool.
Different
it's another dimension, isn't it? It's like you're not just getting all the same size figs. You know that trolls and orcs and all that, they all have different sizes, and that gives it a different dimension.
Printed their arms as well. So.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, they printed their arms. Showing you how it fires off. Traps coming down. Look, he's got a halberd trap, and then it opens it up to give you a better idea of
the shot
of it. So you see the little footprint of it. You've got a couple of towers. You've obviously got the big tower at the back.
Yeah, it's huge.
Nice. And the minifigures are cool as. So we've seen him before. His face looks like it's new in this one.
I don't again, you remember all the faces.
Because there's only one set. So
look. Troll Queen.
Yeah, so I won't call her Troll Sorcerer, but they obviously call her the Troll Queen on here.
Troll King as well.
No, he's got a different face, different layout.
How can you tell behind that helmet?
Because one set. It says under it one set, so it tells you it's only in this set, so you know there's something unique about it.
That's
cool. It's not magic, mate. Troll King.
That is awesome.
So he's got quite a cool face. And
That is
obviously
awesome.
an extended tooth. Some nice printing.
That is cool.
Troll Queen. Say sorceress, like you see, I knew.
Yeah, she looks more like shaman type troll,
Yeah.
didn't she? Than a queen.
Again, some great printing on here.
Look at her face.
Yeah. Really cool. Big glaring eye, the evil eye at you.
I'm definitely the troll person. In the fantasy era, I'm definitely the troll and orc person.
You're a troll. Are you going to come out and say it?
I'm a troll. Yeah, I'm a troll, guys. I'm a troll.
I'm a troll.
I could be a troll.
That's an in-joke.
I could be a troll.
Oh dear. Yeah, we've got the Crown King with no cape and printed legs.
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah.
But then you get, like you say, you get a lot of figures in these sets. So if you've been coming into Fantasy Era and you've just been getting all the Fantasy Era sets, now you're building up quite a nice collection of figures and buildings to create a scene from. You don't really need to be a mocker. You've got everything you need really to put a little battle together. That I'm sure if that went to a show, people would be well impressed.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to look for on YouTube, see if anyone's done it. He's actually got the whole range on display of the Fantasy Era.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it all together. Really would. One of each all together.
But yeah, these guys are cool. Look.
I love them. That one that was pulling the cart, though, and banging the drums on the ship. I love it. Yeah. Because it just gives him a different dimension.
So that was Charles Bond. That was, it said 75 quid. It's expensive now, yeah.
Oh.
And we're now we're popping into the iconic set.
Fantasy Era. I do have one Fantasy Era set.
You do have one Fantasy Era set, yeah. Look at that, 71.99. Why did I not buy some?
I love this.
This is what we're going to get as a remake, aren't we? But I think it'll be better. I think it'll definitely be better. It'll be missing the Crown Knights, obviously. It'll be replaced with Lion Knights. But again, it's been crying out for this for a long time to do this set.
But it's the same with the castle. When we got the Lion Knight Castle come out a year ago, that was amalgamation of not just one castle. It was amalgamation of all different sets put together. And that's what I think the new market town is going to be. It's going to be an amalgamation. I mean, we've already looked in. It looks like it's got a bit of a guarded in it. Plus, it's got this in it. So I think it's going to be a bit of everything.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a love letter in it, I hope. By the looks of it. So.
Yeah, an interpretation.
I think what makes this set, again, for its time as well, and even now, is just what they've managed to do with it. So you've got buildings that will fold back together. You've got play features on it for a kid. You know, an adult can look at it, put it on a shelf and say, yes, this is something that I want to display. But it is so playable. You look at the figures. You've got cows. You've got, I know the brick-built birds, but that's just what they did. You've got, look how many minifigures you've got that are all peasant that you need. You end up, when you're a kid and you're doing castle, where everybody who lives in the castle is just a knight or a guard or somebody in the, there's no people making it alive. This was the first sort of set that sort of said, hey, come on, let's just make a town or something.
Yeah, let's give it some more structure. Yeah. I think this still holds up even today. This 2009, apart from the roofing, it's very basic roofing. And I think by the modern standard roofing, just by adding that, swapping it out and adding that, or doing something with that, this could still stand up today in putting this in one of your castle mocks.
You got some very clever use of pieces. That this is the sort of turning point of architecture when they started doing modulars and all the rest of it. You've got like mud guards here. You've got the bottom of a turntable to create that little window effect that gets used all the time now. You've got the idea of putting this brown in. It does it quite well because it's really quite difficult to put like the wood effect into a medieval wall because they're not normally that thick.
No, that's right.
And the way they did it on here has almost made it not look as thick as it actually is, using cylinders, using telescopes, a couple of snot techniques. Even the tree is pretty good for a tree in this set.
It's basic, but it works.
Yeah.
I had great fun building this. It was one of those sets that I remember building, and I built it once, and it stayed on display for the last 2.5 years. And I just loved building it every minute of this because it's not repetitive. There's so many different little bits and pieces and little Easter eggs is the wrong word, but like little. You go to the next page and it's something completely different. Next page it's something completely. It's brilliant. It's a really good build.
The flowers, putting the flowers on the little green curtains, something that I've never seen them do before, which is quite clever. And obviously that water wheel turning the anvil, sort of, the hammer to the anvil in the forge, that's happened nearly in every set since, hasn't it? Every sort of medieval set's done it.
It was a forefront runner for doing that.
Yeah, 3-in-1 Castle did it. So have we got some additional images? It looks like we have.
Yeah, you got some nice.
Slightly bigger that one, isn't it? So it's a bit of a bigger view.
You've got the nice, like the pub sign and the signages and stuff are pretty cool on there as well.
Look at the box art.
There it is.
Look at it across the top as well. When you see it across the top,
I love it that much. I've got it on my wall next to me.
Yeah. Look at that river imagery. The imagery on this is so much better. They went away from the classic background, but they managed to achieve another classic background. So,
yeah, they're
recognizable.
Completely. We all know the yellow backgrounds, but the yellow orange. But this is very nostalgic for people of this time as well.
So it's the blacksmith in it, a stables. Then you've obviously got an inn at the other side. Pretty cool.
No, I'd be cool with that. Putting white roof on it, sticking snow on it. That would be pretty cool.
Which is fairly easy to do using those parts.
That's right.
Here's the other side of it. Look, there's a little
the detailing inside.
Yeah. So it's not just empty again. So you
little
can close them up.
Yeah, little barn area underneath as well is pretty cool. Where you put the horses in there and the cows as well, if you want to.
I love the way they've tipped that bucket for the cow as well.
Yeah.
And then you got to look at the figures. So we've got a couple of crown knights. We've got peasant woman, blacksmith, little boy, another little boy, another peasant.
I think they use a torso 3 times in this set, the same torso, but they look so different.
Yeah, well, why not?
Exactly. But they look so different just by adding different looks to them, by putting a hat on them or different face, different heights.
A better shot of the box art.
I love that box art so much. So cool.
Dead easy to do that cobble effect now as well.
Yeah, you could just print something out, couldn't you? You could print it out on a computer and just put it on top.
It's a bit wide, a close view of the figures. Okay, there's figures. Some lovely prints on them figures.
Yeah, really nice.
But he's got a sad face. He's like, I've just given you a leg. Cheer up.
What they did do, I actually completely forgot about, and I've got to admit, it's one of the ones I didn't put. I think you're just putting your cursor near it now, which is the brick-built birds.
Yeah.
I didn't build those. I just left those in the little bag, so they're still wrapped up in the bag.
Oh.
Just had some moulded ones in there if need be. There it is in all its glory. Yeah, got to be one of the best medieval sets, hasn't it? Of its time.
Yep, it's definitely up there. Minifigs. Night guy. Again, good printing on the maid.
Yeah, it's a really nice waitressy maids type fig.
The Crown Knight guy. Here's your old peasant miserable male.
Yeah.
He's from Yorkshire. There's your happy one.
But look, same torso. It's crazy.
Yep. Your Luke Skywalker hair.
Yeah, original Luke, yeah.
Even then, look, you can see the printing of the yellow's not great on the green, but yeah, it was all right on the whiter.
Yeah, because it's obviously bright colour, isn't it? So it stands out more.
So they aren't always printed great, and then you've got your blacksmith.
Blacksmith, yeah.
Nice.
Got loads of little pieces like cherries and cheese slopes and
food items and stuff like that as well. It's just so unique, this set. It's such a lovely set.
Yeah, £72. Now, I know the used and new seem to be swapped around. You'd be lucky if you find that for under 300 used.
Yeah, 3 foot again, a bit similar to the Warship. You're looking at around 330 minimum. Oh, further down, was it?
Yeah, it was further down. Look. There you go. That's a better shot. Nice.
Oh, I wish they were still on shelves.
What a battle pack! Look.
How cute's that? Look, little barrel with a shovel in it.
How easy was it to get your little to do with all these guys under my mountain mining?
That shield is so cool.
£78 for it. What the heck? So you're going to pick up a lot of the dwarf pieces when they go from Rivendell onto Bricks and Pieces to do mine.
Oh, you keep an eye on it.
Just swap them around, and that's it. We've pretty much off. We're on to Kingdoms.
There's a long one
because to leave it, yeah.
Because it was all one faction basically,
yeah,
or era, should I say?
It's a good place to leave it. Which means, what do we think of Fantasy Era? Oh, I think it was the best.
Would you put it above the original?
Yeah, I think I would for what they did, for the price of what they did. Not that it's not the nostalgia. I'm just taking if I'd have been born in that period of time, I could see why everyone really likes it.
It's got to be level par. It's got, like you say, it's hard because when you're looking at the original stuff, you're looking at the nostalgia side of it. When we were kids, this is when we wasn't kids. I mean, 2007, I would have been 27 years old.
Yeah.
So you're looking at it with different eyes, through different eyes. But you're
I
trying
just think
to
what
stay true to it.
As a theme, I'm so if I take the kid element out of it, take the adult out of it, and just think as a theme, if you've got every one of those sets, which you wouldn't have done with the others, because there was only a few like Line Knight sets, and then there was obviously the mixed and matched, and we've already talked about how many times they reused bits, that there was no consistency. That as a theme, with you had skeletons and trolls, and you had dwarfs, and you had crown knights, you had everything in that theme. Everything was there with variation, sets and figures. So as a theme, it was probably better than the other themes.
I can't argue with that. Yeah, can't argue with that. I think it's an all-rounded overall theme where you got a bit of everything. Yeah, and also it hit the fantasy thing, which you know we had bits of fantasy and other themes before it and all that, but this is a proper fantasy theme, and it's...
You got wizards and dragons as well. I didn't even mention that when I was saying you got all those stuff that you had enough to have that big collection. If you look when we go forward and how they just regressed back to that same old tried and tested, where it was just good, essentially trying to give you good and evil, not really allowing you to, like for example, you said you could have just been full on trolls. You could have had a whole troll collection, and you could have made the trolls good. You'd have made the Crown Knights bad. But in the other themes, they're trying to steer you down a route where one is good, because it's just castle versus castle, where this was just way better. Like you could have been, you know, the dwarfs could have been bad and attacking the Crown Knights if you wanted to do it that way. You know,
it's your interpretation, isn't it? I mean, how many times have you had private conversations about fantasy and what else you could add to making an army? I mean, we talked about the skeleton army, which has been done, the troll army, and all. But we talked about so many other different armies that. I mean, I'm in the middle of actually starting one now, which is related to another thing, Warhammer. So you can imagine you got those armies in Warhammer, like the Skavens, the Lizardmen, and all that. You imagine if they had brought that into Lego as well, and had all that as a fantasy thing as well. It could get out of control. It could be fantastic, especially as a modern thing.
But as us now, like you said, we've had discussions like this off camera all the time about what we're going to do, what we're going to present, who's going to be attacking, you know, my castle behind me, and how we're going to do it all. But if you go back to that fantasy era, you didn't have to. They gave you everything you needed in that, and you didn't even have to go out and spend loads of money. You could just buy little sets, and you had the grounds to do your own stuff. So it's certainly one I think they should be thinking about re-releasing, especially because they keep giving nods to it all the time. I know they did it with the Orc recently, but I can't see why you would go to the effort of making some of these pieces that they do and printing them for just collectibles and not reusing them anyway. It seems daft. I get it. as a collectible, you want to make that figure unique, but you just, I don't know, you just do it slightly differently, don't you? So.
Yeah, if we was not going to see Dragon Masters or Wolfpack from nostalgia point of view, then it's got to be a Fantasy Era comeback. That would be special, very special.
And to be fair, Ninjago, if you really want to get into it, Ninjago has done that. Ninjago has given you loads of different factions every season.
Well, look at the skeletons. Figures. What are they called? Skullkings, isn't they called Skullkings or something? Look at their skeletons. They're crazy good.
They've done different types. They've brought the snakes back. They've done
snakes.
Like the whatchamacallit army with the stone warriors. They've done the Ninjroids. They've just done everything. The Ninjago one, and it's been successful. It's done everything that fantasy did in one line. So why they don't just bring it back, I don't know.
And like I say, if they did do it, they've got scope for more of a range to put more creatures in it.
Yeah,
there's even more creatures. You know, bring out a griffin. Those fantasy kind of creatures.
Too. Yeah, give us fantasy too.
And we'll help design it. We'll come on board and we'll give you some ideas. We're like big kids ourselves, so we'll come out and tell you some stuff you can put in there. Giant woolly mammoths to ride and things like that. I don't know.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode 4. Obviously, we'll do the others at some point. We just do it when we can and when we're. Like,
there's not many left now, is there? You got the 2010 and then the 2013 range, really. Two ranges left, really.
And then we're probably going to have a look at, after today's talk, so we'll have to have a look at He-Man on Mega Construct at some point and go through that as well, because that would make a good stream.
And it's very different. You know, it's not just Lego. Gives us something different to talk about. Because there are other companies out there making good stuff as well.
Yeah, get the other boys involved of the 2 to 4 players that have been out there. So
that'd be good.
Thank you, everybody who has tuned in. I see Big Nate Bricks has come in right near the end here. I'm glad you joined us. Well, you can always watch it back because it'll all be on.
Yeah, all goes on YouTube now for repeat. If you want to be a what they call them, replay gang.
Replay gang. Replay squad, I like to call it. Scott's on his way back, which is good. So he's had a good productive day picking olives. Trevor stuck around for the whole thing. You're a legend, Trevor. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Trev.
For the kind words as well that you've had. And from me and Baza, we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
See you later, guys.